Hey Eli, I was going to start your video and I was picking out which frequency I was going to tune into while we do this because I always tap into the Akashic Records, the Hall of Records, where your book of life is to do this. But today, something popped up on my screen that I hadn't heard of before, and it's 963 hertz, known as the God frequency, right? So I was actually Googling on my phone, like, what is the God frequency? Because from the moment that I began with the decision, like, all right, this is whose reading I'm about to do, I start like streaming. So the Google response for my question was, what frequency is the God note, or what is the God note? 963 hertz, also known as the God frequency, is believed to have powerful healing and spiritual effects. It is said to help awaken intuition, enhance self awareness, and promote a deep sense of inner peace. Incorporating this frequency into your daily life can be a transformative experience. So I'm actually saving that as a screenshot for myself. But something about that is important in connection to your past life reading, which is what we are doing today. So, hi, welcome. Thank you for your patience in my continuous endeavor to help everybody get back the pieces of themselves that have been tethered and torn during this human journey. So, what I'm actually going to start with, and if you see me bend down, it's just because I'm in my big old box of tarot stuff that I have yet to unpack because I need to pick out a new bookcase because I was moving and all that stuff. So, I'm actually going to begin with the Akashic Tarot, which is like a library card. That would be the easiest way to say it. If you're not somebody who is comfortable or at the space yet where you're able to just tap in using one of the frequencies or something like that, this works as a conduit. So the information streams down just like information comes through your Wi-Fi, right? But this holds the message and sort of gives you a picture to understand the stream that is coming through you, which is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be using my human radio receiver to pick up on the storyline that is the past life ripple that keeps you coming back here. We are going to your origin story, your lore. Why are you still here on earth? What were you trying to do? What will you be doing going forward? And just, I am going to allow myself to be open for the amount of time needed in order to get this story to you so that you can place it into your conscious thinking so you can see your loops and stuff in this life and get the hell out of here. So, without further ado, I am going to start by tapping in with the Akashic Tarot. I am entering the Akashic Records on the behalf of you guys. All right, I am in. And it works like, you know how babies have that soft spot right here? Whenever I go to start, I can feel it pull and it's like a beam of light. It's so weird. So, can I get the origin story for Eli's time on Earth? Can I get the origin story for Eli's time on Earth? Duchess popped in my head. That's new. It is Eclipse Day. I'm like, you know, we really do get new gifts. We just get new downloads. I said, Duchess. The Duchess is like in charge of an estate or something, right? Now I gotta look it up. I gotta be, because nothing that pops in my head during this session is not connected to something, but like Duchess meaning the wife or widow of a duke, a woman holding rank of duke in her own right. Okay, so according to this, your dude was the duke. You haven't been here so long. Not to say that you couldn't be an old soul or something, but you haven't been stuck on Earth that long in comparison to people that have been here since like Eden or Atlantis or something. No, you've been here since there were ships. That's the beginning of your journey. And in that particular life, you came with a partner. So this means that you're bound or tied to this person soul wise for all of your incarnations. But in this first life, which is where we're going to focus on, we're going to see what got left over from this first life, this first loop that you keep trying to fix. that is sort of keeping you here. And I have a feeling it probably has something to do with your partner, because it looks like your partner is an adventurer. Uh, Boats is definitely heavy popping up here, but this is European boats, because once again, Duchess. If that gives you a good time frame, my mind just flashed like some 1500s in my head, and then the card with your characteristics on it, it has 15 on it. So all right, I'll go with the 1500s. I'll rock with that. So I don't see any kids here. It doesn't feel like that's what you guys were into. This is a dynamic duo. He's an adventurer and you inspire him on his adventures, is what I'm feeling here. But it's like you also had good ideas. But it wasn't like you were a super duper adventurer, is what I'm feeling. That's what made me sort of freeze up. I'm like, no, you're along for the ride. Like you were enjoying being out and about, but it wasn't the same as him. He wanted to make a name for himself, is the feeling I'm getting here. So can I get more details on this past life story for Eli? No, this was definitely at this time, traditional male female setup. Okay, so he's actually exploring for money, treasure hunter, if you will. Because look, let me show you. This is so cool. These are the ships I was talking about, right? Like you see, it's a multitude of ships. But when I went to go tap in with my past life deck to just get clarification on that, like arg, he's looking for booty. He found you on one of those trips in booty. So there's that. But this is like a guy, the Duke, clearly, because I'm like, he already has some money too. He's just looking to make a name for himself. And you're there as his wife, like handmaiden. Is that the term I want to use? Because it's not like you're cooking and cleaning. I'm not saying that there's no child rearing. It's no, it's you being amused. You talking about your ideas or what you think would be best for him to do. It's like a glorified assistant. And I say that in the best way here because you're enjoying yourself too. It doesn't feel like you knew what your life was going to be before this person came along. Like you always sort of stood out as weird amongst your family. And it's very possible that you were sold to this person, this builder, this person looking to go make money in the new world. When did slavery begin? And that's just my landmark for when did when did the new world begin? But hold on. When did let me say the 13 colonies to make it better. 13 colonies start. 1607. That was when it was first established, but the exploring started before that, which is what I tapped into with that 1500s. What was happening in America in the 1500s? Because your person made their way over here. Look, we're making more progress here. I love how this works. Like I'm just a conduit and it like leads me around all the other crap. So no, Europeans were already here. Spanish conquistadors. Do you have any roots with the Spaniards? And you know what's so funny, right? So the Spanish conquistadors swept through the South, Central, and North America and took control of its land and people. The Native Americans were no match for European horses and firearms. Mexico fell between 1591 and 1521, and Peru fell between 1531 and 1538. So I'm messed up because look what card was at the bottom of your thing. Native American. So here we have you, this beautiful naturally psychically gifted, may I add, because the Oracle of Delphi was here. You were a muse, but you had smart insights, like I was saying, and you were giving him insights on his journeys and his travels. Your family sold you to him, which made you a duchess. I think the storyline is sort of pulled together itself in a deeper way. What I started feeling was like you were Native American. We never got into where you were born or anything. We just said you were found when you were shit, that messed me up. He found you on one of his travels and your family like, well, now you know that he was Spanish and you were Native American, and he came either to Peru or somewhere else in the United States during the 1500s, and found you, and y'all were together on these rides as he was trying to make a name for himself, because he already came from a place with money. This is actually a karmic relationship. Look, that was right under it for this reason. The ripple for why you kept coming back, because you were taken away from your family. This is orphan during a time of war and battle, because you were your tribe's high priestess. Well, that came together quite lovely. I love these. So with the other readings I do, right? I don't get to dive fully into the storyline like I got to just do here, and just allow myself to be open so I know what to Google and to connect dots and stuff, because we're going through so many subjects in a different type of reading. We can find out like, oh, I can tell you used to be a teacher, and we'll be like, all right, that makes sense if you teach people in this life, but we'll connect it to something else. Uh, as opposed to here where I got to just dig through what happened during your first time on earth that made you keep coming back. You are trying to even the scales, or balancing what happened between you and this character uh, that purchased you. This would also reflect in your relationship with your family, because technically they sold you, but it doesn't feel like they would have had much choice anyway, if I'm being honest. Everybody else wasn't getting sold. They were just getting like kidnapped and stuff. In your case, there was some form of respectful exchange because of your position in the tribe, and because of and it's 2:22 on the clock, confirmation, the way that the dude that purchased you was raised. Like, clearly him being a duke and in some status didn't make him as trash as the other people that were just like kidnapping brides. So let's now dig into what ripples do you have left behind from that, or what patterns are keeping you here. So what soul burdens are still remaining from this first incarnation? What soul burdens are still remaining from this first incarnation? Putting yourself aside for other people. It's all a disconnection from self. Making yourself a side character in everybody else's storyline. Do you find that you help people a lot, but you you don't take much time for yourself? By the time you take for yourself, you're still thinking about helping other people? Because this feels like an extreme disconnection from yourself that causes you to daydream about the person that you actually are or could be. And this has been the thing that keeps you here time after time after time, living a life where you're not actually like alive during it. And I say that because you're at the whim of other people's needs. And in this case, it's probably the same guy that you keep coming around every time. And it feels like the way that you would know that it was this person, or that you were in that same loop or cycle with that same energy, is like you would follow this person around kind of as their helper, instead of embracing your own gifts and your own innate talents, because you're not sure who you are in the relationship, or you're not sure who you are without the relationship. Just a lot of dreaming and a lot of negative talk dreaming about a life without that negative talk or without the things that your negative voice is complaining about, is how you understand how this energy is streaming through you. And this is every life. This is why you keep coming back, or why you're here in this life. So now that we have what the issue is, let's get the solutions. I can't leave you without solutions, because you still got to live through the rest of this life. But now that you heard your sordid lore, that should definitely make a difference. So we're going to do 2 different healing decks here. So what does Eli need to focus on for healing? What does Eli need to focus on? That pattern, look, self-sabotage came up. It's like 2 evil voices on your back telling you that you cannot do what it is that you want to do. So the courage to discover your life purpose and self-love. But like, that's not helpful, right? Like, duh. She needs the courage to step out and share herself with the world. But it starts with the base of self-love. The saboteurs are self-sabotage and putting yourself aside for others, or based upon what you think others will think here. So no, we're gonna see, how can Eli actively begin to cure this past life wound? Putting yourself second is the pattern I got put here. This can be cured by embracing your own gifts, by finding out what your gifts are. There's a feeling here that you might not even fully accept that you are gifted at anything. But through self-love and then spending time with yourself and trying different things out, you'll discover that there's one thing that you're really good at. And once you like get comfortable with that thing, and you might even be in the beginning of stages of figuring this out, that will give you the courage you need. Like, hey, I might not be good at anything else, or I don't know anything else, but this thing, this is my freaking jam. So I can be proud or confident in that ability. And that's what you need to step into your life purpose. So self-love is definitely the entry. But for you, it can't just be self-love because I'm alive. No, you are the type of person where you feel that self-love or love in general is hard earned, probably because of the family you grew up with and that sort of thing. Like you had to be a certain way in order to receive the love or attention that you needed. But in this case, you need to understand that you are enough as you are. But because of the way that you think, you need to find the thing that you feel makes you proud that you are who you are, so that you can place that mentally in there to block out these guys that are just still hanging around in your auric field from all the lives when you've been dark and down and possibly gotten to some things that bound you spiritually. So this is interesting. Uh, like you got the call for, sorry, neighbors, energy work as something that you need. So this means that you need healing from a specialist outside of me, who is just here with the diagnostic. The energy, or sorry, the issue that you're having is an energetic one, because all those patterns I was just telling you about that are in your other bodies, like your energy bodies, keep cycling around and affecting the experience that you're having in this life. So you need some clearing of like parasitic stuff and fragmentation, right? The next one is dream journaling, because there are hints at what you need to be doing for yourself, hints at what you're healing, hints at where you even need to go. It feels like they might even be connected to what your gift is or what your art is. It could be art. The fact that I said that, just run with it. Because your dreams are trying to lead you to something. So what you do with this, if you have a hard time with dreams, you get you some like mugwort tea, because that's really good at like triggering them. But you write down whatever you saw, whatever you smelled, colors, anything you can remember before your feet hit the ground, because that starts to jog your subconscious memory. And then as you keep this up night after night, you will not only be able to get more lucid in your dreams, but you will also start to see more than you were before, because it's a subconscious trick, like a back of the mind, letting yourself know that, hey, I want more information in these dreams, which would be important for you, because there's a lot of stuff to clear up here, because you've been dealing with that same loop of getting bought or getting put in a bad relationship with that guy every life since this one. The last thing is rest. It feels like you need to rest because of those negative thoughts, because of that feeling, because of that just energy that's been on rotation for you for so long. So I am very happy to get this message to you to let you know, hey, you're in the healing phase now, or you're moving towards the healing phase for something that you have been dealing with for a really, really long time through the partners that you end up dating. Like it may have been one way with your family when you were younger, and you were like, all right, whatever. It's cool. I'll just grow up and I'll find somebody and it'll be great. I know, I've been there, trust me. But no, for you, you had a story already waiting for you. One that was helping you find your power outside of just helping people, because you were like the high priestess of the village. You had an important place to be. So I'm gonna pull for a message from your guides just to close this out today, because this was a lot. This was heavy. So can I get a message today for you just to close this out? By the way, I'm getting a message to let you know it doesn't matter if you're male or female in this life. You and this person will alternate genders because y'all are trying to balance out the feminine masculine dynamics, because that was what was very off in that first incarnation. Surround yourself with love. And this is like pets, items you love, people you love, and weave together the crown you deserve. Be your own first priority. I don't think I need to say anything else. That be your own first priority and use your magic on yourself so that you can glow up is just really loud today. Okay, ma'am? Or sir, you have a good day.